It's time for May's indie releases of 2026. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Chris, and today's video is going to be our indie or self-pub releases of May 2026. And as always, these lists do not come from me. They come from AJ Calvin over on her blog, Rob J. Hayes over on his blog, and most recently, RJ Lavender over on Instagram, who have all just got fantastic resources, and you can send in to any one of them if you have a book coming out, so make sure you go ahead and do that. Their links, as always in these videos, will be linked down below. Now, I did miss one from last month, which I read as I was editing it, and I went, because I really like the first book, and this is the second Legend of by Aaron N. Hall. The second one, which I'll put up here, came out late in May, and I'm looking forward to reading it at some point in the near future, because Aaron N. Hall writes a really fun time that is just accessible to all ages. If you want just like a fun adventure, really fun book. So that one is already out. You can go ahead and get it. And the cool news about this one is you can go and get this direct from the author as well on his website. Moving on to May, we have quite a few in this list across the three of them. What I'm finding is that some lists will be smaller, and then some months will be huge for releases. And then also RJ Lavender is just fantastic at finding things that I have not heard of yet. So my cover pick actually came from that list this time around. Anyway, I'm not stalling for stalling's sake, I'm just excited about books. Let's crack into the list for this month. On the 1st of May, we had Chai and Charmcraft by Lynn Strong. This is the Charmcraft Chronicles book number 1, and it is a cozy fantasy / MM romance. And it says, what's a prince to do when the man of his dreams doesn't want a crown and his cat is banned from the palace? I don't know the answer to that question, but I would probably follow the cat if it were me. The cover is gorgeous. We've got some lovely golds here, and starting us off with some cozy Mal romances, you know, a vibe that I do enjoy. Moving on from there, we have the Chimeric Maiden by Chris Mitchell. This is the Heirs of Hierarch. I probably pronounced that terribly. Book number 3, and this also came out on May the 1st. We've got a very dark cover here, which is giving some sinister undertones, but this one is in the fantasy realm. It says the kingdom of Hierarch has become divided by a bitter war over the dominion of the realm, tearing families and friends apart. I should have continued after the comma reading that. So that is also available now. You can go ahead and get it, as that released on May the 1st. No stranger to this list is Tao Wong, and he also had a release on the 1st of May with Immortal Connections. This is Celestial Cataclysms, book number 1, and that is a really, really cool series title, and it's got a beautiful cover here. I need to get to some more Tao Wong. I really like the restaurant novella series that started with, I think it was The Hidden Restaurant, and there's more in there now, but I just haven't read any full-length novel by Tao Wong yet. This one says, a new immortal has risen, and with him the fate of all the realms hang in the balance. That is a lot to put on one person, but I mean, they are standing on top of a dragon by the looks of things, so maybe they're pretty well equipped to deal with that. Also, on the 1st of May, we had the Favour of Laerus. Laerus, I think is how you pronounce it. This is the Dark Queen series, book number 2, by Charlotte Brown. It says, witch, assassin, courtesan, Favour. He may have bought her, but she is no one's pet. Yeah, the girls, honestly, love that for her, and more power to her. This has got a really lovely cover as well, with that pop of purple on the front. Also, on the 1st of May, we had The Wolf and the Swan. This is by Luke Courtney, and is book 2 in the Winged Wolf Saga. Another really cool fantasy series name, the Winged Wolf Saga, and there is in fact a winged wolf on the front of this book. Now, the first line in this blurb does sound like it is a direct spoiler. Sorry, Valerie has decided it is playtime currently, and she's sitting behind me with a bear. So if you hear squeaking, it's not me or the chair, it is the dog behind me. So, I can't go into this one because that first line, like I said, does look a little bit spoilery for potentially the end of book 1, so I will leave it there. On the 5th of May, we have Children of Ziwei, and this is a close follow-up for my cover of the month, and this is The Cursed Light Stars by M.J. Johnson. It says it's epic fantasy, sword and sorcery / progression and cultivation, and it looks really cool. The pop of pink with the cherry blossom at the top here is just looking lovely. Zain Alnair lives on the platforms, a city balanced atop the roots of Ziwei, a colossal cherry blossom tree floating amongst the clouds and ruled by the Toad Mother. The heavens above hold endless burning stars that grant elemental power to those who accept their radiance. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. It's definitely caught my attention. On the 8th of May, another, just striking yet simple cover, and I'm drawn into it and I want to know more, maybe because I love kitchens and just being in the kitchen. This is The Sin of Tantalus by Michael Spearwater, and this is horror sci-fi, and it looks like in the subgenres it is dystopian / zombie apocalypse. Now, I have really liked the Three Rivers Plague series by the Zach and Josh, what is it? Forbes is the surname, and that is a zombie dystopian as well, with some mafia-esque themes in there, and there's just a mafia subplot. So maybe I need to lean a little bit more into zombie apocalypse, because the cover, the idea of dystopian, I mean, I'm digging it. Not so long ago in the recent past, a company developed an artificial pheromone that improved the taste of otherwise low quality beef or pork. Tantalus? I've butchered that, ironically, since we're talking about... Anyway, to improve results and thus sales, they decided to find a way to vector it directly into meat animals as a metabolic product. In hindsight, this was a really bad idea, but that didn't stop someone from spreading the vector as widely as possible. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. I'm probably going to check that one out. On the 12th of May, is at our next date, we have The Burden of a Broken Crown. This is Dragons of Rakan, book number 3 by M.H. Woodscourt. Now, if you're looking for what people term as clean fantasy, accessible to all ages, M.H. Woodscourt is such a good storyteller. This is epic fantasy, and it says Royal Dragon Conqueror. With the mages now out in the open, actually that sounds like a spoiler, let's just keep it at Royal Dragon Conqueror. Also on the 12th of May, we have Labyrinth, Thorns of the Forsaken, book number 1 by C.J. Holmes, and quite a striking cover with the dark red. When I first looked at this, I thought it might be too dark, but now with the pop of light of that yellow coming off and sort of creating that shadow effect, it is quite striking. It says, every generation, the gods take their due. This time, they might take her. Interesting, another very interesting tagline to draw you in there. Princess Azara was born cursed, marked by ancient magic, promised to an unholy bargain sealed in blood. When the reaping begins, suitors will descend into the labyrinth beneath the palace, each one fighting to win her hand or die trying. She never had a choice, not in the reaping, not in her future, not even in the power buried beneath her skin until now. That sounds pretty cool. On May the 15th, we have Hope Beyond Galaxies. This is Star Battle Legacy, book number 2 by Ana del Alamo. I'm so sorry, I've definitely butchered that. This is a book 2, and again, the purple just really works on space, themed covers. I think purple works in most covers, to be honest, because I do like it. And this says, Humans Talk Venyeks Act Nashtara. That looks like it's a quote. The Namaraj will take off again, but where to? And again, it does look a little bit spoilery with that first line for the first book in the series. So I will leave that there, but the cover is gorgeous. We can just marvel in its glory while I'm stalling to find the next book. Now, I did miss one from the 12th of May. I apologise. This is Crypt Currency, a lesson in economics by J. Zachary Pike. This looks like it might be a continuation of this particular series, or a side series within Pike's sort of bibliography. It says, on Earth, the future of finance revolves around deep politics, hidden interests, and dark magic. Notably absent is actual money. This is satirical fantasy. I've heard pretty good things about this author and some of the commentary that they have in their books, and also there looks to be a corgi on the cover, which, if you're gonna put a dog on the cover, I'm pretty sold on the book. Also on the 15th of May, moving to the 15th of May, we're back to the 15th of May, is Tales from the Assassin Without a Name by Scott Marlowe. That is a cool series name. Not a series name, a cool title for the book. I'm all over the place today. I apologize. This is epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, and gaslamp. 10 tales of danger, deception, and daring from the dark fantasy world of Assassin Without a Name and beyond. So it looks like a short story collection. And it says volume 1, so maybe it's going to be a collection of short stories. Maybe it's doing sort of what Witcher did with like the first book, 2 books being a short story collection. I'm unsure, but the cover looks like this, and we have a bit of a collection that is coming out, or has come out on the 15th of May, because it's currently the 17th at the time of filming. Also on the 15th of May, we had The Weight of Loyalty. This is Ink, Brand, and Knife by Robert C. Lehman, and this is epic/dark fantasy. Loyalty is not freely given. Balder chose war, Kimura answered, and now the Baldarian city of Haval is set to be seized. The city, by all accounts, is just that, a city. Orders are to take it, but is that worth the cost of innocent lives? It's got a pretty cool cover, like the white with like the bloodstains on it as well, and this person doesn't look all that pleased to be in the situation that they're in, so I'm guessing that things are about to get slightly messed up. On the 17th of May, no, we're still on the 15th of May, it is The Ash Remains. So 15th of May, The Ash Remains by C. William Phillips. This is the Law of Teeth, book number 1, and a striking cover here. That is a really, really big sword that we have here. Is that the size of the dragon? Who is wielding this thing? Is it by magic? Because this person seems to have it hovering over their head. All questions that I'm sure will be answered if you purchase this book. And it is already out, so you can go ahead and get it. The son of a murdered emperor caught between destinies, a dragon rider wrestling with untold power, an old warrior forced back into the fray, and a master of dragons with the fate of his order resting on a single choice. That, again, heavy. Heavy if you've got one single choice to just like the fate of the world on that choice. The 50-50 is a hard ratio in that particular arrangement. On the 17th of May, we have Countering the Hands of Crime by Elise Carlson. This is Scythe series book number 2, and this looks like a fun little group on this. The smirks, whatever is happening here, is working for me. It's definitely made me want to go and look at book number 1. Mystery with themes of queer identity, exploration, and found family. It's sci fantasy. Containing low-level monsters for monster containment ought to be easy enough, but Raken's doing it handicapped by the struggle to let down walls he's had up with most people for self-preservation for 17 years. This looks like it could be quite a bit of fun. On the 18th of May, we have The Drowned Kingdom Saga, book number 6 by none other than P.L. Stewart. I really have to get to this series, and it is epic fantasy. I've heard nothing but good things about P.L.'s writing. P.L. is a great guy. When I've had the pleasure of interacting with him, I just need to pick this series up. I have book 1. I do want to buy book 1 and 2 from the Broken Binding because they are beautiful additions when I am not impoverished. So, this is coming out. I can't give too much away. It's a book 6, so I'm very cautious of reading any part of that blurb being a potential spoiler. On the 19th of May, we have Together is a Distant Star. I actually have a copy. It's on my shelves, but I'll put it up here for reference. This is an anthology that I have not stopped talking about here on the channel. This is by various authors across the globe. I think we hit 6 or 7 continents, and it is a anthology all about belonging, and I'll have some of the authors on this channel on the day of release, so that will be a lot of fun. But if you want more about this, you can go ahead and check my vlog out where I went through all the stories and gave my thoughts on them. Also on the 19th of May, we have Calculated Whisk, which I love that title. Tales from the Dragon Diner by Lindsay Barocca. Now, excuse me while I put that on a pre-order list. The Dragon Diner bookkeeper wanted. After a lifetime as a mercenary and years of war, Rylena seeks a peaceful new career, and this job looks perfect. But what could be calmer and more relaxing than crunching numbers, while delightful scents waft from a professional kitchen? There is just one problem. The Dragon Diner is run by a real dragon. The one she shot with an arrow during the war, and oh yes, he remembers her. That sounds delightful. Now, my cover pick of the month is coming up on May 19th with The Colour of Time by Millie Abacassis. Now, I apologise if I butchered that pronunciation. And this is science fantasy, a fairy tale retelling and sapphic romance. Princess Kyrell has always been faithful and true to her family, country, and goddess, but now her brother King Elias of Circia has asked for no, commanded her hand in marriage. Desperate to avoid this incestuous union, Kyrell requests a series of increasingly impossible gifts and petitions the goddess for a sign to sway her resolute brother's proposal. That seems like it's not going to be super fun for Kyrell or Cyrell. Apologies on the pronunciation again. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love the greens, the pop of the orange, and the person in the middle. I'm very, very intrigued. Also on the 19th of May, we have Of Wind and Fate. This is the Making of Myth book number 1, and it is by Robin Abbott. This says, Lover, Soothsayer, Harbinger. On an island where dreaming is forbidden and prophecy is punishable by death, Mura is a goldkeeper, trained from a young age to guard a nobleman's wealth, bear his heirs, and surrender any daughters she might have to the ruthless order that raised her. Again, a striking cover on this particular book. It says, a Viking-inspired tale rife with prophecies, court intrigue, and heart-wrenching forbidden love. Of Wind and Fate is perfect for fans of Throne of Glass, The Knight and the Moth, and The Priory of the Orange Tree. I did not love Throne of Glass. I am excited to read Priory of the Orange Tree, and I'm not sure what The Knight and the Moth is. But it is gorgeous. On the 20th of May, we have another fun cover. This is Everyone Dies by Daniel Roy Greenfield, which is cheery, but it is a grimdark and dark fantasy tale, and the cover is really cool. It kind of feels like kind of old school, but like also with a modern twist and new age, so I'm digging it. Aaron, a mercenary archer with a murderous past. Bram, a man who lives by winning contests of skill. Timo, a quiet woodcutter with no taste for war. Melody, a young swordswoman desperate to prove she belongs. Trent, a weary soldier awaiting the birth of his great-grandchild. Costania, a fire mage sworn to the king's service. Shai, a seer cursed with the knowledge of what is to come. They travel together, bound by circumstance, loyalty, and fragile hope. But their fates are already sealed, because in the end, everyone dies. That sounds like it could be a bit of fun as well. Then we come to May the 26th, and it looks like we've got quite a big day on May the 26th. We have got After Dark, Lavender and Lies by Miriam Vett, and this is After Dark, the series book number 2, and it is paranormal romance. Not everything that happens in San Francisco stays in San Francisco. That is ominous. We also have what happened to be a very successful Kickstarter campaign with Death Show Colossus by Bill Adams coming out on the 26th of May. It says 20 climbers, 20 watchers, 5 hunters, 1 Colossus. I am very much looking forward to picking this one up. It says, after both their parents died during the live broadcast of the Tournament of the Colossus, Quinn promises to always keep Ben safe, even from the deadly hunters who scour the slums for those who can wield magic. But when Ben's rare ability manifests during a public confrontation, the hunters see them for what they truly are, riveting contestants. This sounds like it's going to be a blast, and I've heard nothing but good things about Death Show Colossus, and cool cover here as well. And this is science fiction / cyberpunk. Also on the 26th of May, we have Dance in the Dust. This is a prelude to The Last Ballad by Scott Palmer, and this is epic fantasy as well, so this comes prior to the series. It says, life will end for all. Captain Dravian Tarbet of the Lovsai army has spent most of his life fighting the people of Escher on their own soil, only to have all attempts at victory snuffed out by the Dracu king, Cassius Esteban, and his dragons. We also have The Glass Between the Tides on May the 26th. This is The Lightless Alchemist, book number 2 by Haley Pierce. And this is Sage. Oh, I don't know if that is a spoiler as well. It may be a spoiler for book 1, so I'm going to not read the first line of the blurb, but I will show you this lovely cover and tell you that if you have read this one or want to read this one, it is coming out on May the 26th. If you've read book 1, that makes more sense than if you've read this one, because it's not quite out yet, unless you've got an arc. On May the 28th, we'll go back a day, we have Black Hole Guns for Hire by Friday Strout, and this is a military queer romance. The Empire made them soldiers. I'll try that again. The Empire made them soldiers. The Void made them rebels. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. Cover looks like this. And to finish us off, let me just double check that is the last book that we've got for the month. To finish us off, we have another gorgeous cover with a dashing person on the front who has a little bit of a smirk, and I want to know what that's about. And this is What Darkness Brings by Jenna Wolfhart. This says, the gods are dead, the stars have vanished, and the order controls all magic. Color me intrigued. Anahard Morgan, I butchered that, has served them for as long as she can remember. She raises the recently dead to steal their secrets, a skill that has earned her a coveted place within the castle walls and the trust of the inner circle, until she reveals a hidden power no one knew she had. She can kill by touch. Now they see her as a threat. Well, that's fair enough. Like, if you can touch someone and they perish, that is pretty threatening. To earn back their favour, Angahard travels to the windswept coast to hunt a dangerous exile, learn his secrets, and use her power against him. But he's seen her in his dreams, and he's been expecting her. He takes her captive in his tower just as it comes under attack. Interesting. It says, What Darkness Brings is the first book in a slow burn, high-stakes romantasy duology perfect for readers who crave morally grey characters and heroines forced to choose between loyalty and love. Okay, so the romantasy fans, this one is for you. It sounds like fun. I'm not a romantasy fan, and even I'm like, maybe. Those are the books that we have coming out in May of 2026. What are you going to pick up? What sounds exciting to you? Let me know in those comments down below. If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.